For our project, we chose to speak about the role of mediation and dispositional mindfulness on social cognition domains. So, this is our final project, and it will be presented by Grace Avila, Stephanie Pineda, Christine Ramirez, and myself, Sadat Zaman. So, let's get into the introduction. So, what is the goal of this study? The goal is to explore the relationship between mindfulness and social cognition. And why would this be important? It's important because it allows for the suggestion that mindfulness can be a unique strategy for how a person perceives the world. And as a result, a person can learn to increase their attention and enhance their empathy, compassion, and pro social behavior. And you may be asking, how is this done? Comparing mediators with non comparing meditators with non-meditators on multiple social cognition measures is how this is done.
Now onto the materials and methods. The study consisted of a total of 60 participants. 30 were placed in the mediator group, 30 were placed in the non-mediator group. The mediator group consisted of students from a master's in mindfulness program at the University of Zaragoza in Spain. Participants in the mediator group had at least 1 year of meditation experience and were also asked not to meditate for 2 hours prior to undergoing assessment. Whereas the non-mediator group, they had no previous meditation experience and they consisted primarily of healthy individuals from the community. The participants also had to meet certain eligible criteria. For instance, they had to be between the ages of 18 and 65, ability to read and understand Spanish, and have had no priors of being diagnosed with a mental disorder or in the process of undergoing psychiatric treatment. The mean age for the groups was around 42, and individuals ranged between 26 and 55 years old. The groups did share various similarities, and the mediators were matched with non-mediators based on sex, age, and ethnicity. About 73.3 completed higher education, 73.3 were full-time workers, and 60% were married. The study did utilize a cross-sectional two-arms design. The cross-sectional studies involved looking at a sample or an entire population. Individuals are not typically followed over long periods of time with these studies. And in this study, they were looking to assess if there's a significant relationship between the mediation practice, mindfulness, and the performance effect it has on social cognition. So to reiterate, 120 individuals were interested in the study. 81 were assessed for eligibility. 21 were excluded due to refusal to participate or they had incomplete data, which brought down the sample back to 60. The sample of 60 was split into non-mediators and mediators, each with 30 individuals. And then they were asked to complete a protocol assessment. The assessment included mindful awareness attention skill, 5-facet mindfulness questionnaire, interpersonal reactivity index, revised ICE test, hinting task, ambiguous intentions and hostility questionnaire, hospital anxiety and depression scale, and screening for cognitive impairment in psychiatry. Once they completed the assessment, all participants from each group had their data analyzed.
Hello, my name is Christine and I will be talking about the next slide. So this slide is about social cognition measures. They use 6 different social cognition measures, and the first one was empathy. They measured empathy by doing a 28-item questionnaire called the Interpersonal Reactivity Index that assessed 4 different components of empathy. The second one is emotion recognition. So this one used something called the eye test and measured 36 different photographs to different groups, and the photographs were made of actors, and the groups had to choose between one of 4 words to describe what they thought that the actor from the photograph was feeling at the time. The third one is theory of mind. So this one used a study called the hinting task, which it says the goal included to assess the ability of respondents to infer the true intention behind indirect speech utterances throughout 10 short passages reflecting an interaction between two characters. The fourth one is attributional style. So this one was called the ambiguous intentions and hostility questionnaire. And the goal of this one was to assess a hostile social cognitive basis environment. The next one is depression and anxiety, and this was known as other measures that they used. This one used the hospital anxiety and depression scale. It was self reporting 14 items that were measured on a 4-point Likert scale. And the last one is cognitive impairment, and this study used the Screen for Cognitive Impairment in Psychiatry tool, which its purpose was to find cognitive impairment such as verbal learning, working memory, verbal fluency, and psychomotor speed. And in the next slide, we see the effects of mindfulness, meditation, and dispositional mindfulness on social cognition domains. So, what were the effects? So, the effects included perceiving and using emotions, recognition, perception, understanding, and managing emotions. And the results included individuals were observed to have natural high dispositional mindfulness. The benefits of mindfulness can be acquired through practice, and participants focused their attention and were able to better regulate responses towards negative images that they were shown during the study.
Now we'll be going over the findings. The study finds that mindfulness can influence social domain changes, such as strengthening emotional connection, and also encourages pro-social behaviors, or otherwise known as positive behaviors, that not only benefit oneself, but also benefit society as a whole. So the act of helping others, sharing with others, and showing kindness and empathy. Those are the different types of pro-social behaviors that this study was referring to. With that being said, the study also notes its limitations. One of the limitations that is noted is that the sample included individuals, or those individuals from the meditation sample included individuals that only had 1 year of experience. And so with those individuals with the 1 year of experience, those findings may not be generalizable to individuals with many years of experience. Another limitation that was noted regarding the study was that the study didn't assess the type of meditation practiced by each meditator. So as a result, the effects of the different meditation practices on social cognition domains were not explored further. Lastly, the conclusion. So the why of the study. There's a significant relationship between mindfulness and social cognition. And so the next steps that we encourage our audience to consider is perhaps setting aside free time to practice mindfulness. And there's a variety of examples and the way this can be done. One example is showing gratitude, maybe perhaps having a journal, or what some people call a gratitude journal, and write everything that you're grateful for in that journal. Or maybe even calling someone up and letting them know that you're thankful for them. Forgive mistakes. We all make mistakes. So ensuring that you can forgive others and also forgive yourself for those mistakes. Practice compassion. We live in a life, I think, that we're going 100 miles per hour, that sometimes we can be a little bit on edge. And so not only with others, but also with ourselves. So make sure you take the time to not only practice compassion for others, but for oneself as well. So practice compassion. Include some meditation practices on a regular basis. Maybe include them on a schedule. Take time out to include that meditation. Make peace with imperfections. And lastly, accept and appreciate the small things in life. And now Sadat will end this presentation.
The source we used for this PowerPoint slide is the article shown on the screen. It's called Exploring the Role of Meditation and Dispositional Mindfulness on Social Cognition Domains, a Controlled Study. Thank you for watching our presentation.